What's up guys, it's Cody. I wanted to make today's video to share some of the opportunities that are going to be coming and how you can take advantage of them. I wanted to make this video to spread a little bit of positivity in today's world. There's a ton of doom and gloom going on. You know, people are getting sick, cities are on shutdown, you can't even get your dang toilet paper anymore, and it's just absolutely insane out there. I mean, who would have thought that toilet paper would become a commodity in 2020? So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the opportunities that are going to be coming and then give you guys some actionable steps about how you can actually take advantage of them when they get here. There's certain things that you need to do to be prepared for that opportunity when it comes. If you're a fan of Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, you may remember that in some of his books, he talks about how he first established a plan and then took action on that plan. He's a big believer that investing and becoming financially successful is really all about having a plan and then following that plan to a T. In a lot of his books, he talks about how him and his wife Kim were able to put a plan in place in 1985, and they worked on preparing to take action on that plan until about 1989. So they took 4 years of planning before actually doing anything to start achieving financial freedom. They were waiting for their opportunity to be able to invest in real estate, in business, in stocks, and reach that level of financial freedom. It wasn't until about 1990, when there were some world events that changed around, that they started making investments in real estate and became financially free in less than 5 years. It was in 1994 that they actually achieved financial freedom. He states in one of his books that they achieved $10,000 a month in passive income in just these 4 years. But the plan started way before that. It started in 1985. So how does this relate to you guys? Well, there's 3 main steps that you need to be aware of. Number 1, you need to have a plan and get educated. Number 2, you need to wait for an opportunity to arise. And then number 3, you need to take action on that opportunity. So number 1, you have to have a plan and get educated. It's not enough to just say, oh, well, I'm going to invest in the market once it cools off, or I'm going to buy a house once interest rates are lower or prices drop, because that's all nonsense, guys. You and I both know that. You have to have a plan and get educated on the process and know what it takes to actually take advantage of those opportunities and take action on them when they arise. If you don't have that plan or you don't have the education to do that, you're not going to be able to really accomplish much. You know, there's a lot of people out there who say, oh man, I wish it was back in 2009, 2010 when the market was so low and real estate prices were so cheap. I would just throw all of my money into that and I'd be rich today. Well, guys, this opportunity that we're facing in today's time could very well be that same opportunity. If you don't quite have the education or the plan to get started in the real estate market or in the stock market, go and get educated. Guys, this is going to be a couple weeks or a couple months until the opportunity really opens up. As the government and the world tries to figure out how to address the current situation, it's probably going to be at least a couple more weeks of uncertainty that we face in today's market. So any major changes and the opportunity for when you want to jump in is going to be at least a couple weeks or months out. So do your best to go and get educated right away, put a plan into place, and start getting ready for your opportunity. And number 2, the opportunity is here. Over the last, 8, 9, 10 years, the stock market's just continued to go up. Real estate prices have continued to go up. Sure, there's deals to have been had, but now is the time where we've had a major drop in the stock market. Real estate hasn't quite been affected yet. We'll see what happens in that world, but the stock market's dropped and it's probably going to be a little while before it regains the momentum that we need, hoping that the economy doesn't completely crash from what's going on. Once you have a fair amount of certainty into what direction the world is going, then you can take action on that plan. As Robert Kiyosaki writes in many of his books, you can achieve financial freedom in just a couple of short years as long as you have the education and the plan in place. You've got an opportunity at hand and you're ready to take action on it. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of different things that I'm personally doing that I think you should be doing as well to get ready for this opportunity. I'm doing these personally because even though there's a lot of negativity out there in the world today, I also know that there's going to be a lot of positivity, there's going to be a lot of opportunity and momentum to come in the world, and this is when you can really take advantage of that and get those major gains in passive income and in wealth. So number 1 on our list is to take care of your health. Your health is your most important asset. I don't care what type of car you drive. I don't care how many homes you own. I don't care what type of job you have. If you are not healthy, you cannot operate and you cannot provide for yourself, for your family, or for others. You need to be healthy because you are your greatest asset. If you are not working, you are not able to take advantage of the opportunities that are to come. So making sure to take care of yourself is absolutely the first thing on the item here. Make sure to take your vitamins, eat healthy, drink a lot of water, stay away from people, do what you need to do in order to keep yourself healthy, but continue moving forward, continue getting educated, put a plan together, continue working if you're able to, and figure out what you need to do to be ready for what's to come. And that leads me right into number 2, which is to take care of your family. Make sure that your family's taken care of, right? This is what you're doing this for, is for yourself and for your family. So make sure that they're taken care of. Make sure that they're happy and they're healthy, and make sure that you're going to be able to provide for them no matter what is to come. The third thing on the list here is to remember that the world is still out there. Nothing has happened. I think it's easy to get caught up in our phones, caught up in the TV screen or the computer screen, and forget that when you go outside, pretty much things are as normal, right? The birds are still chirping away. My dogs don't seem too concerned with what's going on. Of course, these things don't necessarily affect them, but just remember that, hey, Earth is still here. We're still out there getting, doing our thing. So just remember that the world is still there and there's still a lot of really good things to come. Number 4 on our list is to go and pull cash out of the bank. Guys, grocery stores have been raided recently. Food is gone, toilet paper is gone, hand sanitizer is gone. These shelves are literally empty. Now is the time to be prepared if there's going to be banks getting raided or there's going to be a credit freeze. You need to be prepared, and be prepared by having cash on hand that you can still use to exchange for other items of value. If banks actually run out of cash that they're able to give you out of your accounts, I wouldn't be surprised if people are left high and dry after this situation. The Federal Reserve actually dropped the requirement recently for banks to hold cash on hand equal to 10% of their customers' deposits. This means that they're probably going to have less cash on hand to actually give you if you go in and ask for it. Of course, they're going to have cash. I wouldn't be too worried about that, but think about it, guys. If they can clear the shelves at the grocery stores, why not the banks? Banks don't have just millions of dollars sitting in each branch. Most times they probably have, I don't know, I would guess probably $100,000 to maybe $200,000 on an average day to have to give out to different types of customers. You need to be aware that you need to have cash on hand in case an event like this happens. Worst case, you pull that cash out, you sit on it for a month or so, and then you put it back into the bank, and there's no harm, no foul. All right, so moving on to some of the opportunities that you're going to be able to take advantage of here in the next couple of months. Of course, number 1 on our list is going to be the stock market. The stock market has been so volatile lately that people have absolutely no idea what's going on, and the only certainty that they have in their life is knowing that they can lightly tap the like button here on this video. Guys, there's a lot of volatility out there, and wealth is being transferred from one person to another. Of course, the stock market is falling, but that's because people are selling their stocks, which means they're then retaining their cash. They're getting cash back into their hands, which they either sit on, maybe they invest in their business, maybe they put it towards a loan, maybe they go buy bonds or CDs with it. It's getting transferred to a different source of investment. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of opportunity that opens up in the market once we see some stabilization, and it's not ranging from dropping 10 to 15% every day and then rebounding the next day before dropping again. It's absolutely bonkers out there right now what's going on. So I wouldn't recommend jumping into the market just yet. Wait until the federal government figures out what's going on. Wait until other countries figure out what's going on and what the plan of action is, and this outbreak passes. Once that's happened, then jump into the market, because now overall the market has dropped significantly and there's a lot of upside to be had. If you look at the Dow Jones stock chart, you can see that it's down almost 30% in just the last month. That means that there's the opportunity for the stock market to climb back to its previous high, because there really wasn't any financial indicators of why the economy is dropping. It's really just dropping because businesses are shutting down and there's a lot of uncertainty going on. You can say what you want about each individual industry, but overall, as a whole, the mortgage industry is doing pretty well. The banks are doing pretty well. Car companies are doing pretty well. The tech companies are doing pretty well. All of these industries that have caused, disasters in the past are doing fairly well economically speaking, with the exception of this black swan event of having an outbreak that causes these, jobs to shut down and for people's health to be compromised. So when you actually look at the economic factors, it's still very strong. And so I expect that once this all gets figured out, it will rebound very quickly. The second place to take advantage of some of these opportunities is going to be in real estate. Now is the time to refinance your loan, especially if you've been waiting, if you've been trying to figure out what to do, when to do it. Now is the time to make that choice. Mortgage rates have dropped recently, and there's a lot of opportunity out there to lower your interest rate and increase the cash flow that you're getting on your home, or even just reduce the amount of a living expense that you personally have. It'd also be a good time to go and get a home equity line of credit on your home if you're able to. If you have enough equity in your property, definitely open up one of these HELOCs. It usually doesn't cost you anything. A lot of banks and credit unions will do this for free, and they're going to be in a position where they want to lend you money at very low rates. This could give you cash on hand and give you access to capital to go and take advantage of either the stock market if that's your thing, or invest in real estate deals if they come about. Now, I don't foresee a lot of real estate deals actually popping up for at least probably another month or two. I think that there could be homes coming onto the market which will increase the inventory that's out there and then lower the demand for those homes and actually drive prices down temporarily. Again, I think overall the market's very strong, but because of this influx of people who are losing their jobs and may not be able to make their mortgage payment, there could be homes coming onto the market that will drive prices down, and then you can take advantage of those lower prices. And that's the third place you're going to take advantage of what's going on in the world today, is you're going to be able to pick up real estate deals at below market value. If you can find deals that already have some built-in equity, whether you need to go and put in some work yourself, or it's just it's a fix and flip, it needs a full remodel, you're going to be able to get better margins on these types of deals. People have been overpaying for these deals for a long time now, and it's just gotten crazy how low the margins actually are on them. So I think this is going to open that back up and give you a chance to actually go and find some decent real estate deals. Take the chance of, if it's your first deal, get invested in the market, go and take that chance on that real estate deal and have enough margin in there that you can figure out what you need to do, cut your teeth, and then get that place sold. Be very smart about how you go about this. That's why getting educated and having a plan is so crucially important for these scenarios. I keep reiterating to look at things from a different perspective, because there's a lot of opportunities that are also opening up on the business end. Whether you're going into business or you're going into sales, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to take advantage of. Unfortunately, businesses are going to go out of business. There's going to be major companies that go out of business. Some of the smaller airlines that take a lot of capital to operate are going to go out of business, and that's unfortunate because it's the way it is. There's also going to be a lot of mom and pop shops that are going to go out of business because they won't be able to keep their doors open when employees can't work, people aren't going shopping, and it's going to force us into a recession. They're not going to be able to make their rent payments, and therefore they're going to have to shut their doors. This is unfortunate, but it's the harsh reality that we're living in right now with what's going on in the world. This could be your opportunity to get into the business and put your focus into it and seriously have a good chance at succeeding. Even though most businesses will fail, you'll have a serious chance at succeeding because there's going to be less competition than there was just a couple months ago. The next thing I want to mention is to get your credit in check. If you're trying to go out and get business loans, or you want to get a new mortgage loan or buy an investment property, you need to have your credit in check so that the banks feel comfortable with lending you money. Figure out what you need to do to get your credit score up and get your debts paid down. This is going to be absolutely crucial, and it's going to help you in just about every aspect, no matter what you do. It's going to help you because you're going to pay less credit, and if there's any time you need to get a loan, it's going to be much easier to actually do so. Guys, it's absolutely time to take the risk now and get prepared for what is coming. Get a plan, get educated, wait for this opportunity to figure itself out, and then start taking action, doing whatever it is you need to do. Have that cash on hand, make sure your credit's ready to go, make sure you know the rules of what it takes to get qualified for a real estate deal, and then purchase it and have it cash flow. These are the things you need to figure out and get situated on so that you can be ready when all of this is figured out. I know that for most of us, we haven't lived through a major recession. You know, for me, I got out into the business world in 2011 when I got out of high school. I mean, sure, when I was in high school, that's when the economy was totally in the dumps. But for me, it was kind of just everyday life. I didn't really know what was going on. I just got up, went to school. I had a job at the time. I mean, it was just kind of, things were normal from my perspective. And so when I actually got out into the business world and started working, I didn't really have a good understanding of what it's like to be in a recession and be working and have, you know, so much stress and so much uncertainty in your financial aspect of life. And I think that for most of us, that's probably true because we've been in such a strong market recently that everybody's been making money. This is actually the opportunity to go out and make smart investments and actually produce a real return on your investments you're making. You're not just capitalizing on, you know, the ocean that's rising or the lake that's rising and rising all ships. You're actually able to capitalize on it because you have a plan in place, you're educated, and you know what a deal looks like, and you're ready to take action on it. It's time to pull the trigger when the time is right. This could be your best opportunity that you're gonna get. Who knows if this is gonna be big, if it's gonna be small, if it's gonna last for a month, if it's gonna last for a year, maybe multiple years. I don't know. This could cause our next recession. I'm not saying that it will one way or another. The best thing you can do is take control of the things that you actually can control and be prepared for no matter what happens. I can't control the weather. I can't control what other people are going to do, but I can control my own financial destiny by having a plan, being educated, and getting ready to take action when the opportunity presents itself. Guys, I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, give me a thumbs up here on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Click that button down below and then that bell to get notified when I release new videos just like this one. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.